head of public relations for UFC, and of course local guy Dave Sholler joins me right now to look at the card and all the UFC news. There's been a lot of news going around. Dave Sholler, how are you?
Yeah, Mike, you nailed it. It's been a lot of news, a lot of miles flown, a lot of hours spent. But we're here at the MGM Grand Garden Arena getting ready for our UFC 200 press conference today at 5 o'clock Eastern, live on UFC.com, followed immediately by the UFC 197 weigh-ins. A lot of answers today on the situation surrounding Conor McGregor, as well as a lot of anticipation for what should be a massive fight between Jon Jones and Ovince St. Preux.
Yeah, all right. Well, you started with McGregor, so I'll let you start there. What happened?
Well, I think Dana detailed it pretty articulately on SportsCenter. The bottom line is we were in a situation.
I don't have Dana. I have you, Sholler.
We plan, as you know, Mike, being around the fight game for a long time, a massive amount of pre-promotional duties in terms of tours and commercial shoots and photo shoots. And when I say massive, I mean it's consolidated this far out from the fight. Conor informed us that he did not want to participate in those duties, which, I'm looking here at a locker room full of 12 other fighters from that card that are here for the press conference, and he elected that to make the decision not to attend, and we had to, take the next step to make sure that our promotion could move forward. So as of right now, the Conor McGregor-Nate Diaz fight is off, and we'll be looking very closely at the fight tomorrow night to see potentially a new 200 main event. But I think the key
So
is...
you're saying... I'm looking at a picture of your face, and Conor McGregor is in your face. You're telling me Conor McGregor will not fight at UFC 200. That's official.
As of right now, that is official.
So you're leaving the door open.
Well, here's the deal. The fight game, you never say never, but as of right now, we're moving forward without the Conor McGregor-Nate Diaz fight. But again, live on UFC.com at 2 o'clock Pacific, 5 o'clock Eastern, we'll have our press conference for UFC 200. But Conor McGregor, as of right now, is not here in Las Vegas, and we're moving forward with plans for another main event.
All right, Demetrious Johnson yesterday, I asked him who the biggest star is. He told me Jon Bones Jones is the biggest star. He is fighting this weekend. Give me your thoughts on why this fight should be must-see entertaining.
Well, this is the return of the number one pound-for-pound fighter in the history of our sport, Jon Bones Jones. He never lost his title, Mike. His title was stripped after he had some incidents outside of the octagon, but he's flashy, he's dynamic, he is capable in all areas of the fight, and he is back. As you know, Daniel Cormier, the reigning champion, was supposed to be his opponent, suffered a leg injury, could not compete. In steps former University of Tennessee linebacker Ovince St. Preux, a dangerous, athletic, quick, versatile striker of his own. This is going to be one hell of a fight. Anytime you get Jon Jones in there, you feel like you're watching history. Tomorrow night, live on pay-per-view, history will be made again.
All right, and as you just said, he's had a lot of stuff surrounding him, so him just being back, it's definitely worth to see if the rust is there, what kind of guy he will be. Do you agree with Demetrious Johnson that Jon Jones right now is your biggest star?
I don't agree that he's the biggest star. He's certainly the greatest pound-for-pound fighter in the sport, and I think he has the potential to be the biggest. Right now, I think the biggest star, 1A and 1B, are Ronda Rousey and Conor McGregor, and you can interchange the A and B how you see fit. But Jon Jones, with the continued success that he has, there's no reason why he shouldn't be the biggest star in the sport. He was well on his way, and it's been well done. He had some issues outside of the octagon, but this week he's been focused, he's been dialed in, and I have to say, Mike, from an insider's perspective, this is the most relaxed and confident I've seen him in a long, long time, and I've been with him since the start of his UFC career, so it's been pretty special to watch.
UFC Vice President of Public Relations Dave Sholler is with us. They got UFC 197. Yesterday was Demetrious Johnson. Henry Cejudo will be his opponent. Now, some people think the flyweight that it'd be the pound-for-pound best fighter that you guys have.
Well, and listen, I'm in that category. I think just as interchangeable as Ronda and Conor are in terms of talking about who the biggest star is. I think you can make a case that Demetrious Johnson is the number one pound-for-pound fighter in the world. That's what makes tomorrow's card so special. You have the number one and number two pound-for-pound greatest fight in the sport, and maybe in history competing. DJ is so elusive. He's so fast. His wrestling is on point. But tomorrow night, he meets a gold medalist wrestler, Henry Cejudo from Phoenix. I think this will be the toughest test of his career. DJ usually dominates when it comes to grapple wrestling, but Henry's on another level. He's got that Olympic pedigree. This is a really, really intriguing fight. And the fact that you pair it up with Jones and Ovince St. Preux, and then Anthony Pettis and Edson Barboza, one hell of a card.
Should be fun, as you tweeted out earlier. Yes, this one will be a good one. Now, the other night I saw you at a hockey game with Phil Brooks. Do we have any update on when the former CM Punk will fight? You got to tell. You were sitting right next to him. You can't tell me that didn't come up.
It was among the topics we discussed, along with Flyers hockey. But I will tell you that.
Did he approve of the bracelets being thrown on the ice?
He did not. He did not approve of that. But I'll tell you, as someone who's played the heel role in his former life, he appreciated the passion and energy. But, we had a great conversation. He is just a couple of weeks, away from getting back into full training. His back is healing well among progress and well ahead of schedule. And he's back in the gym doing cardio, doing weights and things like that. He's waiting for the full clearance to be able to do contact sparring, but he looks great. He's leaner than ever. When I was with him, he was 188 pounds. That's as light as he's been. He used to walk around in WWE at around 212 pounds, so he's made a real commitment to this sport. I read the stories, Mike, and I see the tweets that, people are really questioning why he's doing this, why we're letting him do it. But this guy is so incredibly committed. He's relocated his life to train alongside Duke Rufus, Anthony Pettis, and a great camp in Milwaukee. He's fighting a kid, Mickey Gall, a Jersey kid himself, who is young, who's hungry. And I think when this fight finally happens, and I think it'll probably take place late summer, early fall, it's going to be a big fight. And I think Phil's doing everything he needs to ensure himself a successful debut. Yeah,
now, you're there with him, obviously, and you've talked to him a bunch. One of the few people that have got a chance to really talk to him in this environment. Do you think that former life is completely out of his system?
I do. He is not the half in, half out type of guy. To me, and I've asked him that question, and I have no problem talking about that. I said, do you ever envision a return for yourself to the squared circle? And he just feels like that part of his life is over. He dedicated 20-something years to it. He reached the highest heights. He was the world champion in WWE. He headlined the biggest arenas. And I think he's a guy, and if we start thinking about the Eagles draft here, he's a guy that likes challenges. And I think this is the next challenge in his life. So in essence, he's traded up in the draft, and he's ready to try to take over this franchise here at the UFC. He's doing everything right. People forget he's 37 years old. He's not starting this at 21, but he's doing everything he needs to do to ensure himself success. And that's been really, really inspiring to watch.
Yeah, no, and the one thing I would ask and question is monetarily. I don't know where he is there and how much monetarily he could gain in UFC, as opposed to if it's someday, he headline WrestleMania again. That's probably a pretty big payday.
Well, I think that's a fair point, and I think very valid. Phil's never once, to me, been someone incredibly motivated by the almighty dollar sign, and I can tell you that he lives a very great lifestyle thanks to his sacrifice in the world of professional wrestling and all the commitments he made over the years. He'll be well compensated here in the UFC. He's still a massive international draw, but I don't think any of this, whether it was leaving WWE or coming to the UFC or whatever it may be, I don't think any of it was driven by the dollar sign. And I say that with 100% honesty. He's just not one of those guys.
All right, Dave Sholler, everybody, local guy, UFC and UFC 197. He's the Vice President of Public Relations for UFC and UFC 197 this weekend. Good card. Pettis Barboza, we didn't get much into that one. We talked to Demetrius Johnson yesterday for that interview. Go to our YouTube channel, Henry Cejudo, and, of course, John Bones Jones back in the octagon. Sholler, we'll talk to you soon, pal.
I'm coming home to South Jersey next week. I look forward to seeing you, Mike.